Okay, so as promised, this is part two of interviewing. So, what do you need to have in your arsenal when you come for an interview? When you come for an interview, right? You have to prep way way before the interview. Once you get that call that, hey, we would like you to come in for an interview for the executive assistant position to Keisha Grant, right? Let's use me. You're going to come in to be the executive assistant to Keisha Grant, right? So what you need to do is once you go, thank you, sure, I'll be there. One, you never take an interview the same day. Never, never, never. You are not prepared. You are completely blown up, taken for a loop. Don't take an interview you could be like, I will do it first thing tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I can't do it today. Most people don't interview the same day. Now, there's always exceptions. Now, if they go to you, we need to make a decision today, and you really want that job, you better take your ass to that interview. Take your butt to the interview. Just go. But you have to be studying and doing everything that I'm telling you to do right now. You're going to have to do that on the way to the interview. That's why I said, try not to take the interview the same day. So you get that call. Hey, come in on it's Friday. Let's do that. Because usually my assistant calls on Friday. So it's Friday. Hey, Friday afternoon. Oh, thank you for coming. You're going to be the interviewing for the executive assistant to Keisha Grant, right? So you're like, okay, thank you. Click. Good, right? You love my sound effects. But anyway, and I'm like, okay. So the minute you get off that phone, you need to have a notebook. You should have been had a notebook, an interviewing notebook. You should have been had an interviewing notebook because that's the only way you could keep everything organized. If you don't have an interviewing notebook and you're interviewing at 5, 6, 7 different companies, you can't keep that straight. So you have to have a notebook. And if you could have like a 5-subject notebook that you split into different sections for different companies, because what you're supposed to do is research the company or research the agency. You're going to work at the agency. The first thing you do is research the agency. What agency is this? Or what company is this? And then you research the company and start writing down their biggest wins. You understand? You start writing down their biggest wins. Don't write more than 2. Does that make sense? Because when you go into the interview and you talk about it, if you do too much, it seems weird. I don't know why it seems weird. It just seems weird, okay? It seems weird. Other people might like it. I don't. Because when you do too much, it seems rehearsed. It seems like you were trying to reel me in. I don't like that. 2 is good. 2 really big wins where, oh, I saw that, you were speaking at the Women's History Month in March. That's something that you need to write down. Like, oh, blah, whatever. See, then you go into the person who works there. The person who you're going to work for, you need to know who this person is. And you could take one accomplishment for the agency and another accomplishment for the woman. So it could be like, yeah, I see that the Department of Finance brings in blah, blah, blah amount of dollars or whatever, right? And then you could talk about me. And then they're going to go back and be like, they took time out to find out where they're going. It wasn't just like a pot, like what do you call it? A crapshoot that you just throw. And it's like, oh, somebody called me back, so I'm going to go. No, you got to take your time to make sure you read the job description. You have to make sure that you understand the pay scale. And most of the jobs in city agencies have a pay scale. I don't know about private anymore, but mostly city agencies do. So when there's a pay scale, the person who's calling you in for the interview will tell you, we can't negotiate the scale. They can't be negotiated. So because what happens is you get stuff already pre-approved. So if they're like, we can, they're not lying. I don't know why that came out. I think somebody was like, well, what happened with this? They're not lying. There's a pay scale. There's a pay scale that we can't go out of. And that's pretty much for any city agency or any company. They have a rate that they're looking to hire someone at, and unless you are absolutely over the top dynamic, they're not going to increase it. Not in this economy. They're not going to increase it. But that's for another day. So you find out all about the company, you find out all about the person who you're going to be working for. You also pay attention. This is so bad to tell you, and you better not misuse it. Do a deep dive into the person who's interviewing you. Do you understand? So if Chris is interviewing you and you know Chris's last name, you need to look and see what Chris is into. Does that make sense? You need to find out who's on your interview panel. Back in the days, you couldn't do that. You would have to ask somebody who knew somebody that knew somebody that knew them. Do you understand? Now it's not like that. You get to actually let your fingers figure it out and go to people's different profiles and see who they are and what their interests are and stuff. But what I'm telling you right now, they can smell fakeness. Do not stalk it. Do not do crazy stuff on it, because what happens is you'll be flagged, and you don't want to do that. Do you understand? So I think it's like there are different platforms where if you log on to it or if you go into the person's profile, they get a notification that you're in the profile. Don't go to that one. Go to like LinkedIn, or I don't know if LinkedIn does it, but go to like those professional sites and be like, hey, let me see what they're into, what they post, what they don't post, and all that stuff. So when you get to the interview, you should kind of have an idea who these people are. You shouldn't go to an interview and have no idea who these people are, and like random. You need to know who the people are. And another thing is, nobody asks for business cards, which is crazy, because at the end of each interview, you're supposed to send a thank you email. Nobody I've interviewed thus far has done that, which is crazy, because that means it's a dying art. But when someone interviews you and you're done with the interview, you're supposed to ask, do you have a card? Can I have your email address? That makes them remember you. Don't chat GBT the email. Don't just write weird shit. You understand? Say thank you. Just chat GBT. How do I say thank you for someone who interviewed me for this position? And put the job description in chat GBT. And what they're going to do is they're going to kick out a thank you email that's going to also make you memorable. Does that make sense? It behooves me the lack of effort that is going into a lot of interviewing now. It's odd, because this is why I hated interviewing, because it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. So it's like, but I'm starting to see that people don't put the same like oomph into interviewing as they used to. That's odd. That's really odd. At least the people that I've seen thus far, in my career. But don't get it wrong, I've seen some really good ones that it's like, oh, you came with your guns, like just put your gun on the table, like you came to play, and we lost them, but still, but still, so you lose some, you win some, you lose some. But yeah, the next thing is, when you come to an interview, you need to come with questions. You need to come with questions. You need to come with, and then we'll do that for another video where I'll tell you kind of what questions to ask. But yeah, you have to come with questions. Don't just sit there and ask about when will you find out if you're going to get if you've got the position or not. Just don't ask that question. Don't It's not a good question. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I do. I don't ask that question. I don't ask that question. Usually, if you let them finish the interview, they usually tell you at the end. I heard someone go, "Yes, we tell you at the end. Well, we're interviewing more people, you'll probably hear from us in a couple of days." We're going to tell you that at the end. Especially the people I interview with, they're very on top of their game, and they would tell you. But when you ask it in the middle of when you are at the end, when you're asking questions, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And then it shouldn't be the only question you ask. Now, if you ask that question, that's fine. It doesn't disqualify you, but it can't be your only question. You need to, oh, you almost got me. I was about to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. So stay blessed. Deuces, and I'm out.